is Chris. So with the above water, good things I'm seeing: good body position, comfortable breathing. You're not raising your head any extra. You may be turning more than you need to, but that's something that's easy to learn to turn less and less over time. Your reach forward is good. It could be better. You see when you're reaching forward, your elbow is still pretty bent, and there's a fair amount of space in between your shoulder and your head. When you reach, you want to reach as far forward as possible. Really straighten that arm out so that it's pretty much directly in front of the shoulder, and you're doing a pretty good job of that, except when you breathe. That left hand is crossing in front of your head when you turn to breathe. But hips and legs high in the water. Rotation is fine. Kick looks like it's one of those kicks where you're not thinking too much about it. That's not bad. Over time, you could work on the actual kick form, making it a stronger kick. There is a propulsive effect from a good kick, but this is, this will carry you through a triathlon. Excuse me, and your legs will not be tired kicking like this. With the strokes, I'm going to wait till you get to the underwater portion to talk about it. Yeah, but all in all, above water, streamlining, with the exception of reaching forward more, you're doing a pretty good job. Okay, so underwater, what's going on with that left arm is more in line of what I would call a elbow slip, or the elbow leading the stroke back. So that means that your hand and forearm don't really go vertical in the pool until later in the stroke. And you want that hand and forearm going vertical as early as possible in the stroke, so that the water that you're pulling back is being pulled backwards as opposed to any other direction. Left arm is more of a straight arm pull. That's where the upper arm and the forearm are essentially in the same line or same angle as you pull through the stroke. That's better than the elbow slipping because there's more resistance, more pressure through the stroke. The problem with the straight arm is that the first third of the stroke really just pushes water down. So what I'm talking about with that right is how, when your elbow is coming back towards your body, your hand and forearm are still sort of at like a 40-50 degree angle as opposed to a 90 degree angle or straight up and down. So for both of these, what you're really going to want to work on is trying to work towards the high elbow catch. The best drill for that is one arm drill. Another one is doggy paddle drill, and catch up drill is not a bad one to do. So arm reaches forward fine. You could get a little more extension out of that. So really reach, stretch your lats out so that you can't reach any farther every time you take a stroke. And then you start to pull back. And if you kind of keep an eye on the elbow, and that's actually not bad. There's the issue. So started out not bad, and then the elbow led the stroke back or jumped back, and the hand and forearm are still at that 50 degree angle. You want to get into the 90 degrees as soon as possible. You have to roll your shoulder in or shrug your shoulder internally. you want your upper arm to be still pointed forward, but the hand and forearm pointing down or angling down. So left arm, not a bad reach, could be a little better. And then through this one, upper arm and forearm sort of stay in the same line, right? So a straight arm. Better than the elbow slipping, because you're getting resistance, through the entirety of the stroke. The issue there is that first chunk really pushed a lot of water down instead of pulling it backwards. Pretty good finish to the stroke. You can, with the finish, it's a push motion where your triceps do some work. So that's another aspect you can think about over time. But the pull is much more important.